Good morning, I'm Trinity Chavez. It is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, and you're watching NYSE TV Live. We are coming to you from our studio high above the trading floor at the New York Stock Exchange on the corner of Wall and Broad Streets in Lower Manhattan, the epicenter of the global financial markets. And we have a great show for you today. Today we are welcoming NCR Atleos, ticker symbol NATL, in celebration of its launch as an independent, publicly traded company. And to honor the occasion, we have its branding all over the building, from the banner streamed across the facade of the New York Stock Exchange to the cubes lit up right behind me. All eyes will be on NCR Atleos as CEO Tim Oliver and members of the executive team ring the opening bell. Now, this spin from another listed company, NCR Voyix, who kicked off the celebration yesterday, ringing the closing bell. So again, congrats to NCR Corporation, which is now known as NCR Voyix Corporation, and Atleos' launch as an independent public company. Atleos' CEO, Tim Oliver, said in this statement, quote, "Today marks the first day. As Atleos, we launch our new company from a position of market leadership and unwavering focus on our customers, and I am confident we will continue to lead and transform the ATM industry." Now, to give you a little more insight into the spin today, Atleos common stock will begin trading regular way on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol NATL. And as a result of the spinoff, Atleos' focus will be banking services and ATMs, including self-service banking, payments, and network and telecommunications and technology businesses. It is a leader in facilitating banks and retailers to deliver best-in-class self-service banking experiences for its consumers. Now, Atleos also helps customers expand their reach, provide greater financial access for customers, and reduce operational complexity through industry-leading technologies, unmatched global services capabilities, the largest surcharge-free network, and expertise in running ATM networks. Atleos is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, with 20,000 employees globally, and we will talk more about the company in just a little bit, but I'm going to toss it to Lynn Martin, who is the president of the New York Stock Exchange, in the boardroom in just a few minutes. But first, I want to switch gears just a little bit. Let's talk about the history of this iconic institution. The New York Stock Exchange, or NYSE, it traces its roots back to 1792, when a group of traders gathered beneath a buttonwood tree on Wall Street, and they formed an agreement famously known as the Buttonwood Agreement to create a centralized marketplace for buying and selling stocks and bonds. Little did they know, though, that this humble beginning would lay the foundation for one of the world's largest stock exchanges in the world. Fast forward 231 years, we now have over 2,400 listed companies, and the NYSE has around $40 trillion in total market cap. The exchange has become synonymous with corporate giants and hosts some of the most recognizable names like Coca-Cola, IBM, Disney, and offering investors the opportunity to invest in well-established and well-trusted companies. But beyond its role in capital formation, the NYSE also plays a critical role in providing liquidity to the market, and liquidity refers to the ease of buying and selling stocks. The exchange provides a centralized platform where buyers and sellers can meet. And what also sets us apart from any other exchange in the world is the fact that we have a specialized trader, also known as a designated market maker, who we will actually speak to later on today in the show, and they're going to tell you about their role here at the New York Stock Exchange. But again, this is exactly what sets the NYSE apart from any other exchange. Again, the specialized trader, a designated market maker, someone who stands with the stock for the days, weeks, months, years ahead. We have had some of our listed companies be listed with us for centuries. As a matter of fact, you know, we are a 231-year-old institution, but we recently celebrated Con Edison, who has been with us for 230 years. Obviously, the designated market maker has, changed out time and again, because 200 years is a long time. But that just goes to show what we do here at the New York Stock Exchange, providing that long-standing relationship, and it's really a commitment, just like we are doing today, celebrating this spin-off, welcoming another company to the NYSE community of 2,400 listed companies. Now let's go to the boardroom where Lynn Martin will continue our coverage.
not that Voyix's banner looked bad. It looked good. It looked awesome, but thrilled. We are thrilled to celebrate Atleos today. So my name's Lynn Martin. I'm president of the New York Stock Exchange. It's my honor to welcome you all here today. I'm wearing Atleos green. And for the Voyix folks, I didn't have anything purple. So I got a shopping assignment. It's my honor to welcome you all here today. I can't imagine how much work went into everything that happened last week and which got you here today. I was talking to the Voyix team yesterday just about how much work was involved in the separation. But we love celebrating things like IPOs, but we really love celebrating anniversaries, partners, and businesses that continue to transform themselves. Now, if I look at your business, started in 1879 or 1884, grown to more than 600,000 devices globally, 80,000 ATMs globally. But we're not here to talk about the past. We're here to talk about banking as a service in the future. So it is a new day for you all. Congratulations on the continuous transformation that you have undertaken over those 150 plus years. And we couldn't be more excited about your future as the world continues to evolve. Without further ado, I'm going to call someone to the stage that needs no introduction. Tim, why don't you come on up? As you know, we got some traditions. Congratulations.
Last time Lynn and I saw each other, there was a duck between us.
Yeah, absolutely. The Aflac duck in Atlanta.
Yeah. So firstly, let's shout out to, there's viewing parties all over the world right now.
Love that.
We're in Dundee, in Serbia, in Cebu, in Cyprus, in Latin America. Everybody's watching right now. It's cool. Maybe even my parents from there, if they can figure out the link. And I also want to thank David. You're great. We couldn't have done it without each other. Thank you. The Voyix should be proud. You guys had a great day yesterday. We're going to top it today. So look, here's what we're celebrating. We're celebrating a history, a very proud history. 143, 44, depending on how you count. A history of innovation, right? NCR funded the first flight of an airplane. We built one of the first computers. We've helped in both world wars, helped us be successful. The company matters, and it matters today as much as it ever did before. We're celebrating a transaction, right, where we are right now, which a lot of you worked really hard on. And it's really been a 3-year transaction when you think about it, right? We've been at this for a long time. And it's been disruptive, and it's been hard, and it's been uncertain. And I appreciate you hanging in there, because it wasn't, I get it, there were some hard days, it wasn't easy. I might even had a couple where I had to call Mike late at night and say, I don't know, Mike, I don't know if this is gonna work. We're here. And you should feel good about it. You're going to look back on this accomplishment as one of the finest you've ever done. So thank you for that. And then lastly, where are we going? As Lynn said, we're the biggest and baddest in the ATM space on the planet. We have 600,000 machines that we touch on a regular basis and make sure that they're running and operating for our customers' customers. We have the largest fleet in the world of 80,000 of our own devices that we make money on by the transaction. So it's simple. We just got to make more money per device. I get it, right? The number of ATMs in the world isn't growing that fast. It is growing, right, Stuart? It is growing modestly. Cash transactions aren't growing that fast, but they are growing, Stuart, right? They're still growing, yep, as of this morning. And importantly, we're right there to catch all of those transactions. As our bank customers and our retailers decide they don't want to deal with cash, we're here to do it for them and to do it really, really well. So we're going to have a great day today. Thank you. Thank you to all our folks tuning in from around the world. We appreciate you. Let's go ring a bell.
All right. Okay, so, Tim, as you heard yesterday, we've got a bunch of traditions at the New York Stock Exchange. One of those traditions is to present the bell ringer with a medallion. So, Tim, it is my honor to present you with this medallion.
Thank you very much. This is great.
On the front of the medallion are our 6 pillars, which stand for a variety of things. They stand for innovation, they stand for entrepreneurship, and they stand for access to free markets around the globe. And on the back is the Buttonwood Tree. The Buttonwood Tree is where we were founded 231 years ago, just on the corner of Wall and Broad, which was our nation's capital at the time. So you're in the footsteps of a little bit of history of our fine nation. One of the other traditions that you heard about yesterday is everyone in the room will receive a slightly smaller medallion. So you will get this on the way back up after the bell ringing.
Now, some people took one yesterday. They take another one today.
They can have another one. Yeah, they can have another one. They can have dueling medallions to see which one's better luck. Additionally, because you are a new public company, you are going to be doing a first trade bell. We like bells at the New York Stock Exchange. We're going to go ring the bell to open the markets, and then you are going to ring a bell to open your stock. You are going to use this mallet to do that, so it is my honor to present you with that.
I hope you have insurance for me with mallets.
Yes, we can get you. It's good luck if you break it.
All right, deal.
It's going to be a loud morning on the floor, folks. And then you could leave that right there. And then last but certainly not least, it's my honor to present you with your original listing certificate, NCR Atleos. Hopefully this is displayed in your headquarters to remind you of today and all the hard work, but more importantly, to remind you of the future and where you're headed.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, congratulations, everyone. We are going to be headed down to ring the opening bell in the markets. I'm going to turn it back to our host on the webcast for all of you at the watch parties around the globe. I'm counting on you guys to make some noise and bring some energy virtually.
Again, that was NYSE President Lynn Martin and Tim Oliver, the CEO. We heard Tim again talking about how today marks the first day as Atleos. This is a new position of market leadership, and it really reflects the unwavering focus on its customers. And this is just the beginning as he and his team work to transform the ATM industry. Now, I want to give you a little recap about a few company facts. As you know, NCR Atleos is spinning off today its ATM business. This company has 600,000 global devices under management, over 80,000 ATM locations owned and operated, as well as 140 countries supported by Atleos ATMs. And to honor the official spin today, you just saw one medallion, and the FTB gavel was given to Tim Oliver along with the listing certificate. And they are getting situated right now in the boardroom. And when everyone is here on the floor, they will actually ring the first trade bell, and that will take place at Citadel Post after the opening bell. And this is because Citadel Securities is the designated market maker, which I was talking about earlier on, for Atleos. And again, the DMM is a specialized trader who is an invaluable resource on the floor of the stock exchange, helps you, determine pricing, helps navigate through the volatility of the market, and so much more. And again, we're going to speak to that DMM later on today. His name is Pete Giacchi. He is the head of floor trading for Citadel Securities. Now, and that's going to happen in just a little bit. But first, let's take a look at what the market news is today. Stock futures are up slightly this morning as investors are focused on upcoming slate of earnings reports, and traders are monitoring the latest moves in treasury yields. This after the Dow and S&P 500 finished Monday's session down. The Dow dropped about 0.6%, and the S&P 500 was down 0.2%. Meantime, economic data is coming out this morning about services and manufacturing sectors, and investors will also keep an eye out on tech later on this week as quarterly results come out. According to FactSet, about 30% of S&P 500 companies are slated to report this week, the latest leg of earnings season, and that so far has been better than expected. About 17% of S&P 500 companies have already reported earnings, and 3/4 of them have posted earnings surpassing analysts' expectations. But we will get into more of that in just a little bit later in the show, and we will speak to some of the traders on the floor when I go to the floor But now as we get ready to open up the U.S. equity markets, we are going to learn a little bit more about NCR Atleos. Okay, now we are here on the trading floor. Again, this is an active trading floor. We see the Atleos, NCR Atleos team just right behind me. Tim right there, he's signing the Distinguished Guest Book. Now this is hugely significant because it has all of the thought leaders, entrepreneurs, celebrities who have come through these very doors at the New York Stock Exchange, etching their name in that Distinguished Guest Book, especially as we get ready to open up the U.S. equity markets. I'm going to step out of the way here because they're going to make their way over to Cramer's set right here. Jim Cramer films his show here. Right here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Mad Money is what it's called, and they're going to the executive team is going to make their way over, utilize every opportunity to capture this moment, this spinoff today. And actually, I'm seeing my colleague Chris Taylor. Mr. Taylor, how are you doing right now?
I'm doing great.
Why don't you tell everybody what you do here at the New York Stock Exchange?
Good morning. I'm Global Head of Listings and Services, which means I have the privilege of working with the team, of course, with our 2,400 listed companies from 47 countries around the world.
Amazing. And, you know, we're celebrating NCR Atleos today, the spinoff. We had, the rest of the team here yesterday kicking off the spinoff, ringing the closing bell. I mean, tell me about the significance in that.
Yeah, it's great seeing a company, NCR, almost 140 years old, splitting into two focused companies, NCR Voyix, and today we're celebrating NCR Atleos. We were talking about it yesterday. We're calling them two 140-year-old startups. So it really is just a way for these companies to recharge and restart and refocus their businesses. So they are excited. They're working closely together, which is unusual, and it's terrific. So we're celebrating with them.
Amazing. Well, I will let you go. Thanks for allowing me to pull you.
Thanks so much. Take care.
All right, now let's get some shots right now. This is our in-house photography team. They are taking photos of this moment underneath the Bell Podium as we get ready to open up the U.S. equity markets right there. Again, Lynn Martin is hosting them today as they're going to make their way up to the Bell Podium and open up the U.S. equity markets. And again, I want to point out that this, again, is an active trading floor. We have between 1 and 200 traders who are actively placing in orders as we get ready to open up the U.S. equity markets. And again, all eyes are on NCR Atleos today. Depending on the day, we could have over 100 million people from around the world watching who is ringing that opening bell. And then after they ring the opening bell, they will make their way down the secret staircase behind the Bell Podium, I like to call it, and then they will etch their name on our iconic wall, which again has dozens of hundreds, I should say, of thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and celebrities who have walked through these stores. And as we get ready to open up the markets, let's get a market update by Remy Blair, who is with FinTech TV. Remy, what do you got?
Good morning, Trinity. U.S. stocks are looking at a higher open. Futures are rising ahead of the bell on Tuesday morning. Now earnings season is in full swing and ramps up this week. A slew of big tech names are reporting results, including Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and Microsoft, and highlighting the busyness of the earnings calendar. This week, about 30% of S&P 500 companies are reporting their results. And profits are expected to be supported by the strength of U.S. consumer demand. Yields will also be closely monitored. In the previous session, the benchmark U.S. Treasury yield pulled back after crossing 5%, a 16-year high, while U.S. stock indices were mixed. This does come as tensions continue to rise in the Middle East. Now, higher bond yields and the risk of a wider conflict in the Middle East weighed on investor sentiment at the start of a week full of corporate earnings as well as key economic data. Looking ahead, Thursday's first official estimate of third quarter U.S. GDP growth will be closely monitored. It is expected to top 4%, fueled by an acceleration in U.S. consumer spending. Also, Friday's personal income and outlays data for September will show how the Fed's primary inflation rate, the core PCE price index, closed out the third quarter. After 3 fairly tame months through August, economists are expecting a 0.3% rise. And of course, the next Federal Reserve meeting is awaited. The two-day meeting kicks off on October 31st with the interest rate decision, as well as commentary from Fed Chair Jerome Powell expected on November 1st. Keep in mind that Powell recently remarked that a stronger than expected U.S. economy might warrant tighter policy, although higher rates could make action by the Fed less necessary. Trinity, back to you.
Wow, a lot to look out for. Thank you so much. Again, that was Remy Blair with FinTech TV. Thank you for that update. Now, the crowd is gathering behind me. I'm sure you guys see. Let's take a look right now. I mean, everybody is representing in their green today. All right. You guys, that was just a little preview, right? We're going to be louder when we open up the bell? Okay, all right. When we ring the bell, they are going to get much, much louder. That was just a preview, teasing all of you who are watching back at home. But again, we're right in front of CNBC set as we get ready to celebrate this spinoff, officially a part of the NYSE community of over 2,400 listed companies. And again, you're going to see traders like zipping past us because we literally have an active trading floor here. And, we're seeing posts right behind me as well. These are the designated market makers that we have here on the floor. And we're going to speak to, again, Pete Giacchi. He is the head of trading for Citadel Securities, which is the designated market maker for NCR Atleos. Again, a part of the NYSE community officially today. And you know what? NCR Atleos, they're headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, just like we have our headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. And our team was recently there celebrating the kickoff of football, college football. Let's take a look at that. We are literally about 1 minute out from opening up the U.S. equity markets. And, we're getting shots of the crowd, again, filling up the friends, colleagues, and, supporters of NCR Atleos. And I'm seeing my colleague Pete Ash here, but he's a little bit consumed right now, so we're just going to keep the focus on the crowd. But the team right now is gathering on the Bell podium. Let's get some shots of that as they get ready to open up the U.S. equity markets. Lynn Martin we're going to hear her really, really amp up the crowd because there's nothing more that she loves to do than open up the markets. Actually, we're about 10 seconds out now, so let's listen in to the opening bell. Okay, that's official. Well, the U.S. markets are officially open. You just saw NCR Atleos ring that opening bell, and we're now going to gear up to ring the first trade bell. But first, I want to bring in my colleague Pete Ash. He is the archivist here at the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, this is an exciting day.
Yeah, it's always exciting. You know, obviously we love new companies, but even better when you see these complex transactions happening here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Company's been here for a long time. NCR becoming two companies, using the floor, using DMM model to make that a smooth transaction.
And they're a 140-year-old company, right? We're a 231-year-old institution. Now these two iconic, historic powerhouses coming together to embark on the next phase of this journey together. I mean, what does that say about the heritage of the New York Stock Exchange? I
mean, I think it speaks a lot about the heritage of the New York Stock Exchange and NCR. The fact that these two companies have evolved over the centuries. Us a little bit older than them, just, you know, a little bit older than them, but doing the same thing of figuring out, you know, beginning with an idea, figuring out how to do it, and then continually using new technology, new ideas, new innovation. And if you think about the decades and decades and generations of leaders that have had to come to these companies to help lead them through this change, it's amazing. Amazing. Not a lot of companies make it to 100 years, let alone 140 and 230.
And you know, as the archivist, from where you sit, what have been some of the biggest changes that you have seen over time?
So in my own time here, a lot of changes happened with ICE's incorporation, another Atlanta company, NCR Atlanta company as well. But a lot of the changes happening on the floor of the exchange, happening behind the scenes. But if you think about this floor, 120 years, and opened up, you had some pneumatic tubes shooting orders around, paper, yelling, screaming. Today, you know, a loud morning today, I still have that manual process open the market, but then the technology allowing buyers and sellers to find each other efficiently, quickly, and transparently, doing it better than we've ever done before using that technology. And
you know, we're getting images right now of the team signing the wall. Let's talk about the significance in this and why that is so important in itself.
I love the wall. So earlier, the audience saw the signing of the Distinguished Guest Book, as we call it, that everyone signs. And, you know, this bell ringer signed that, and it's a list of some of the amazing world leaders, business leaders, sports icons, people who come here. But that wall is everyone on the Bell podium. And you think about all the different types of people, you know, first employees for companies they bring, the executive team, the children, all of that, they really have to sign the wall, add their name to that wall, and get to see that sort of tapestry of signatures going up and down the walls. It's really a cool thing to look at, and it really adds a democratization of the process.
And actually, speaking of process, let's talk about what actually happens to the wall when it fills up with signatures. I mean, I know that you play a key role in that.
Yeah, I mean, as you can imagine, with 15, 16 signatures every morning, 15, 16 signatures every evening, the wall fills up quickly. So we actually use those panels and we deploy them throughout the building, other places as well. So you never know when you're walking the halls of the New York Stock Exchange when you'll happen upon a bunch of very cool signatures.
And you know, a lot of people might not know that it's not just the trading floor here at the New York Stock Exchange. We have dozens of iconic rooms like throughout this iconic building. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so one of the things that we've done in the last few years, particularly since ICE has acquired the NYSE, is convert what we refer to as our executive floor, which is now our 6th floor, and then the members floor, the 7th floor, over to listed companies. And so each room has, you know, its own, not only high-tech capabilities, but also its own story. And so it allows companies to use this space, to steal a line from my colleague John Tuttle, to have their own home office here in Lower Manhattan and take advantage of whether it's just a one-on-one meeting, one of our smaller rooms, or 400, 500 people coming in for an investor day. Take advantage of being listed here and being listed behind these walls.
And speaking of exciting things happening around the New York Stock Exchange, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to take a look at some recent IPOs that have happened here at the NYSE.
Together, we built something truly beautiful in the true iconic notion of what America is all about.
This is our task, this is our mission. We have a clear focus and we have the ability to be agile and innovate.
It takes years of dedication to get us to this milestone. It is all because of you.
Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. It is the only thing that ever has.
To be a woman leader, it's not so easy, but it's easy if the passion and the love is coming from your heart.
The New York Stock Exchange is the symbol of what America is all about. The potential of capitalism, the potential of an American dream.
The only way you can move a society forward is a true expression of freedom.
All right, now remember the DMM that I was telling you about earlier, the specialized trader, the designated market maker. Citadel Securities is the DMM for NCR Atleos. Okay, we're going to take a quick look right now at the trade bell because they're getting situated. Like I said, that only happens one time, but we might have to interrupt this interview during
the trade bell is always the most important thing, Trinity, no problem.
Okay, so let's talk about what the significance is of this first trade bell.
Yeah, so the first trade bell is meant to give the company a chance to commemorate the opening of the stock on the New York Stock Exchange. What makes the New York Stock Exchange different is the DMM model, where we actually represent the shares on the floor, providing liquidity and providing a service to the company about what's driving the performance of their shares each day.
And, you know, we just kind of jumped right into that, obviously, because the bell waits for no one, which I like to say. But your role as a designated market maker, I mean, how is it an invaluable resource here on the floor for the companies that you represent?
Sure. So companies are always looking to understand how their stock trades, what's driving their performance, what kind of flows are in their stock. And what makes the New York Stock Exchange model unique is the fact that there actually is a physical trader assigned to each individual stock that's on the trading floor. Citadel Securities is the DMM for the symbol today, which means that we're responsible not only for the trading of the stock every day, putting in buy orders, putting in sell orders throughout the continuous trading each day, but we're also responsible for the servicing of the client, telling them what's going on in the stock, who's buying, who's selling, where the stock might potentially have technical levels. All that service aspect comes with the DMM model.
And tell me the difference, like for those who might not know, what is the difference from a traditional IPO or spin?
Yeah, so on a traditional IPO, the company is actually raising funds. So the company is selling shares and raising capital, which they're going to use. In a spin, it's taking shares out of an existing company and giving them not only to the existing shareholders, but also allowing new shareholders to buy the stock.
And obviously, you know, the first trade bell happened, which we just saw a few moments ago. Can you walk me through that process? What actually takes place before they ring that bell?
Yeah, so when you open any stock on any given day, you want to make sure that you're opening it at the right price, where supply and demand is dictating that stock opens. So with a new issue, we like to take our time, make sure that we're building a book, seeing where supply and demand meet, seeing where the price is stable prior to opening, and then once it's stabilizing prior to open, we then open the stock for continuous trading.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It was great talking to you, Pete, as always. I know you got a job to do, so I won't keep you much longer.
My pleasure, Trinity. Congratulations.
All right, now we're going to bring in Tim, the CEO of NCR Atleos, right here. Hi, Tim. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. This is a great day.
Such an exciting day. We got our green on.
I love it. You had a purple yesterday for our sister company,
Yes.
and you're here with us today.
Absolutely. I have to represent our companies.
We appreciate that very much.
So tell me about the significance in today, the spin. I mean, what does it mean for your employees, the overall market, just your company's vision?
Together for 148 years, it's somewhat melancholy, right? We've had a really terrific brand. We've been around for a very long time. We've done a lot of great things in the world, but it's time. It's time for the two companies to. They're mature enough. They're ready to go. They're ready to be independent.
What led you to this decision today? Why this spin? Why now?
You know, the stock market couldn't figure us out. Our customers were happy with us. Our employees were happy with us, but our valuation still stayed too low. And I think it's that conglomerate discount, or just the amount of work it took to cover a company is very complicated. It had too many pieces. I think this allowed people to find the piece of the company they most like, hopefully like them both, but that they most like, and invest in that one.
What strategic objectives are you hoping to accomplish now that NCR Atleos is finally spinned off?
Yeah, so we've got to invest in our product a little bit more. We've been investing across the company in all products. Now that we're a singular company and by ourselves, we can invest in our products, which is really software and service levels, service competition for ATMs.
How will NCR Atleos continue to innovate, stay ahead of the curve?
Yeah, transactions are changing, right? We all consume differently than we have before. We still use cash, but we use it in different ways. We get paid digitally and consume with physical transactions sometimes. So helping people figure out how best they can access their bank, or even just access their money, their digital money, through an ATM is what we're all about.
Are there any new technologies or products that you would like to share with us today?
So cash deposits, or cash dispense used to be what everybody did in an ATM. Now cash deposits are way up, and also gig workers are using our machines to go take their cash out at the end of the day. So they don't need an account, they just need their device. They walk up to the machine, and they can take their day's earnings out in cash and go, walking around money for the weekend.
Amazing. Now, any global expansion plans in the works?
We're in 140 countries. I'm not sure how many are left, but we've got networks in 11 countries, and so I think there's some room for us to add networks to what we do.
Well, we look forward to seeing that continued growth. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Meet you. Thank you very much.
I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye. All right, and as you saw earlier, we have NCR Atleos' branding all over the building, including the facade outside of the New York Stock Exchange. But now let's take another look at a video showcasing some of our other companies who have recently joined that as well. now joined with Stuart McKinnon. He's the Chief Operating Officer for NCR Atleos. Congratulations.
Thank you. Just a huge day for us and our whole team members. We're super excited to be here. Yeah, it's just so great.
I mean, it is great, right? Was that your first time on the Bell podium?
That was my very first time on the Bell podium. You know, we got to watch the Voyix team yesterday morning, so a little bit of a dry run for us. So not as nervous I would normally be, but it's so amazing to be here. The work that our team put into getting us here, we just can't thank them enough for all the effort.
Tell me, how will this spin today impact NCR shareholders?
Well, listen, we get to focus on what we do best. So we're going to be an ATM-focused company focused on ATM as a service, which is our new core offering that we're out in the market with. So really focusing on innovation in that digital to physical space and growing as we grow around the world.
And speaking of growth, what is going to be the operational focus from your vantage point moving forward?
Yeah, we're just customer. So really focused on delivering to our customers, giving them the service that they deserve, making sure that their cardholders can use our ATMs any time of day, 24/7. They're up and operational and delivering a great experience.
Are you seeing any new market opportunities in the current ecosystem we're in?
So we're in about 140 countries today. In 60 of those countries, we have a huge presence, and we think that's where we have an opportunity for market expansion as we grow the network outside the US, the UK, Canada, Great Britain, all of the great places we're in today.
Now, I was talking to Tim about new products and technologies that are up and coming, but do you have any new products or projects that you're working on that you would like to share?
Sure, yeah. So one of our big focuses is obviously ATM as a service. That's really helping financial institutions innovate and deliver more services at the ATM as they change the complexion of their branches and go to more cafe, concierge-style branches. Our self-service kiosks become more important to all of their customers every day.
Amazing. Well, congratulations again. We are ecstatic to have you here at the NYSE, and I'm going to let you continue the celebration.
Yeah, thank you for hosting us. It's been great.
Bye, Stuart. All right, that just about wraps it up. But first, I'm going to toss it to my colleague, Josh King, with the last word.
Thank you, Trinity, and congratulations to Tim and the entire team. You know, here at the New York Stock Exchange, we are pretty good at honoring history. Often because we apply so much reverence to our own storied heritage. You know the tale by now, 231 years of giants on whose shoulders we stand, going back to those 24 brokers who signed the Buttonwood Agreement in 1792. It takes a company with a proud longevity to see similar DNA in firms climbing the stairs to our podium over there. And you saw it just a couple minutes ago. And think about the shoulders upon which they walked. IBM was once known as International Business Machines. AT&T used to be known as American Telephone and Telegraph Company. CSX Corporation, the North American railroad giant, was the amalgamation of the old Chessie System and Seaboard Coastline Industries. And now NCR, which as a kid you might have noticed on the counter of the candy store at the corner in your hometown, was known as National Cash Register. Now, NCR began as the National Manufacturing Company of Dayton, Ohio. In 1884, brothers John and Frank Patterson bought the company's patents and formed a firm based on the latest sales and business approaches. They established the first training school in 1893 and introduced a social welfare program for their factory workers. And NCR spawned a lot of American industrial giants in its wake. Thomas J. Watson, the founder of IBM, got his start there. Two other alumni, Edward Deeds and Charles Kettering, got together and founded the Dayton Engineering and Laboratories Company. The acronym for that, DELCO, Delco, which later became the Delco Electronics Division of General Motors. And of course, you know that as NYSE ticker symbol GM. So now comes, right behind me on the floor of the NYSE with yesterday's closing bell and this morning's opening bell, the latest example of what the eminent Harvard economist Joseph Schumpeter coined in 1942. He called it creative destruction. As Schumpeter wrote, it is, and I'm going to quote him, the process of industrial mutation that incessantly revolutionizes the economic structure from within, incessantly destroying the old one, incessantly creating a new one. Last week, there was just NCR. As of this morning, there's NCR Voyix, that's ticker symbol VYX, led by David Wilkinson with 16,000 employees and a presence in 35 countries, a leading global provider of digital commerce solutions for the retail, restaurant, and digital banking industries. And we've also, you just witnessed it, NCR Atleos. That's ticker symbol NATL, led by Tim Oliver. You heard him talking with Trinity just a couple minutes ago, with 20,000 employees, 80,000 and more ATM locations, 600,000 global devices under management, with a presence in over 140 countries. So yesterday, I went back and read the investor presentation that Tim rolled out on September 5th as he introduced his new company to Wall Street. The investment thesis can be found on slide 6 if you want to go look at it, but here's the headlines as Tim laid it out to investors on Wall Street. He said, steady global demand, a market leader with unmatched scale, benefiting from accelerating bank outsourcing, predictable profitability and cash flows, and prudent capital management. NCR last week, NCR Voyix yesterday, and now NCR Atleos today. Schumpeter couldn't scripted the march of capitalism any better. I'm Josh King, and that's the last word.